some technical issues. Just a few, namely passwords, forgetting thereof. So in case you feel alone as an end user, sometimes us IT guys, we forget our own passwords too. I got technical support over there.
That's right. Plan B.
Plan B, yeah. His phone didn't log himself out.
No.
But our system at the end of every month, it just kind of decides it's going to log you out and make you log back in. I don't know why.
At the most opportune times as well.
That's right, yeah.
When you're trying to get something done.
5 minutes before you need to get on a show. So, Keith, we got lots going on today, don't we?
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about internet coverage.
Yep.
And what you can do to improve that. And talk about securing your business.
Yeah.
And that was more along the lines of camera systems?
Yes. Yep, absolutely. Yep, we'll probably segue into that after we get into the internet coverage. And then I took a little trip this week as if I had nothing else to do. But we'll talk about that because this has been a week of internet woes and lightning strikes. Mm-hmm. We had that. And then we'll have our cyber tip video. But before we get into that, we need to do our shameless 15-second plug for the Residential Protection Plan.
The Residential Protection Plan by HonorBound IT is the best support and service for home computer users. You get top-notch antivirus, backup, and remote support. Plus, if you need in-store service, it's free. Visit us at 109 Norris Avenue, McCook, or call 877-686-6642. Your digital peace of mind starts here.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us again this afternoon. And so we're going to get right into the content. One of the things that Keith and I are actually pretty proud of is, and it's a real need around here because a lot of our farmers and small business people have multiple buildings, but they might not want to pay for multiple internet services. And they might need resources to be shared between one building and another. Mm-hmm. So, we've done a few of these wireless bridges, haven't we?
We have, yeah. They're very handy for people who, they're, like you said, they're a rural community. Mm-hmm. They got their house, where they live and, eat and do all that stuff. But then they have a building, usually adjacent, maybe 100 yards or so off mm-hmm. to the side. Their shop, basically, is what it is. And a lot of them use their shop as an office as well. And so mm-hmm. they have a computer in there. They need to get internet in there. And sometimes the internet just doesn't reach far enough. So,
well, and, another use case is they might be fixing something and want to get access to resources to fix that thing. But like most buildings in this area, most modern buildings, they're metal. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of like an enemy of Wi-Fi or anything wireless because it reflects the signal. And so we've put a fair number of these wireless bridges. We had one situation where there was a welding shop where they work in the home, but they also wanted to be able to do their billing in the office, which was maybe 150 yards away or so. Mm-hmm. And they tried all kinds of things. This customer, they tried, the repeaters, and repeaters are just like the mesh, not always very good, particularly if they're not, strong enough. Number one, to be able to, span the distance. But secondly, whenever you have a mesh system and you're having one radio relaying, that's kind of what a mesh does from your base radio that would be in the house or wherever it might be, you lose half your signal. So you end up losing half your performance, where what we've been doing is we've been putting in wireless bridges, and they run at 60 hertz, I think it is. And we did one for a seed company, and we tested it as far as the speed was for internet. It was just as good in the shop as it was in the house. So, yeah, they take a little bit of doing, and they're not cheap. But, you know, if you use it a lot, it's one of those things that's extremely handy. You know, and if you're in a small business and, you know, you have multiple buildings and you don't want to have to trench a cable or, you know, and in a lot of cases around here, trench cables have their own problems, you know, with getting broken, having water leak into them, that sort of deal. Wireless bridges are just so much easier and so much less maintenance. So yeah, and you've been on the roof a couple times doing those.
Yeah, and that's the thing with these wireless bridges is you actually have to mount these on the outside of your building. So, you know, you got your headquarters where your internet comes from, and then, you know, we hook up the bridge, run the cable, do whatever we got to do, and then we mount it on either the roof, or if you have like a pole or something. That's the nice thing about these. They just easily mount onto these points, and then they work on line of sight. So as long as there's nothing obstructing the view between the buildings, you know, like a giant tree or another building, you know, you get straight signal. And I think these things go up to 1,000 yards.
I think it was 1,500 now.
1,500 yards. Yeah, 1,500. So quite a long ways. So if, you know, if your shop is farther away, you're just trying to do things, you know, ordinarily, you know, you're just going to be getting if you're using your phone, you're just going to be getting your cell phone internet, which may or may not be good in the rural areas.
Well, inside a metal building, you're not going to have very good luck at all either.
Absolutely not. But then that's the nice thing about the bridge is, you know, we can send the bridge out there farther away, and then we can also do wireless access points to get Wi-Fi in the range to kind of, you know, make that distance, you know, to get the internet seem a little bit better for you, and you'll have that connection that you may have devices, you know, iPads, tablets. If you're working on things in a shop, you kind of have to have those devices to work on some of those things, and your phone's got to work. You know, if you have a computer out there, you're doing billing, like you said, things just, it's almost inevitable. You have to have internet almost anywhere you go these days. And
yeah, so it's so ubiquitous. I mean, everybody needs it.
Yeah,
everywhere. Yeah, so like couple prerequisites. One is like we're going to make a perforation in your house to run a cable, and we do our very best to hide and make those things as neat as possible so it's not sticking out like a sore thumb. And secondly, you have to have a clear line of sight. And, you know, if you're putting one of these things in the winter, you kind of have to scratch your head a little bit and make sure that if you're going through an area where there's trees, that you're not going to be having leaves obstruct the line of sight, because that's very important for performance, and sometimes it'll block the signal completely. But yeah, and you know, we've been using the Ubiquity Dream machines for that. They have 3 models now. They have like a very basic Dream machine, and essentially they're like a security system. So from the standpoint that it has some firewalling capabilities, it also has the capabilities of running a couple of other features that you wouldn't think would run out of a firewall. And one of them is security cameras. And, you know, these days, you know, it just seems like people just can't leave other people's stuff alone. And so we get a lot of call for making sure that we can have cameras. And all we need to do that is just hook the cameras up. The software's in the firewall. We can figure it all up. And there's multiple applications of firewall. You can have the bullets. You can have indoor, outdoor. In fact, they just came out with one that actually has facial recognition.
Oh, wow.
Has AI facial recognition. So, you know, you can, so it'll recognize people that are supposed to be in certain places as opposed to those that are not. Those ones are a little bit more expensive, and you have to have a specific use case for them. And they also have like a door latch system. So, like, you can set up your door locks for facial recognition, for key fob or card or RFID card or what have you. Yeah, it's just like all around Swiss Army knife of firewalls. So it doesn't just cover just the networking part of it that we talk about like every week, but it has other benefits to make sure that you're keeping your property safe, and you can see the cameras on your phone if you need to get alerts. Here we have one that faces out to the street, and we've got a little place marked out so that when cars drive past, it doesn't like drive me crazy. So yeah, that's, another way of securing your business. So, if you need something where you're trying to connect a building to another, or you need security for cameras, what have you, this is stuff that we do.
Yeah, and I know, like we talk about the cameras, we get a lot of people that come in, the farmers and things like that, where, the pen's quite far away, and, the guy's like, well, at 2 a.m, I gotta go get up and check the cows. And, they're always like, it'd be nice to have a camera out there so I can just, look at my phone or on my laptop and look at the cameras at 2 a.m, in your underwear. You don't have to get on, put your boots on and pants and run out there and do anything. Not unless there's something going on, you do. But, if it's just a quick check, you can save a lot of time and a lot of headache and stress just by popping that up, seeing, oh, nothing's going on. Okay, I can go back and rest for a few hours and, before the day starts, and then I can get to work. But
especially if like you're one of those that does winter calving, the cows, they know when it's going to be minus 40 outside. For some reason, that's when they decide that they're all going to give birth. So, if you bring them home and, you have them well lit and some cameras on them, you can save yourself having to go outside and put your woolies on.
Yeah. And, for some people, that might be worth the investment right there. But like you said, this technology, it comes at a price, obviously, but so does everything else that you do in life.
Well, convenience,
convenience is the biggest thing for it.
But I mean, if you're old and frail,
oh, exactly, yeah.
Or you just like at 3 a.m, you feel like you're old and frail. You might not be normally during the day. Just one of those things that you might want to consider. And no, we will not install this if it's 40 degrees below zero outside. So anytime that you're ready, we're happy to help you do that. So, yeah. So we got next, dude.
Well, you did a trip.
Yes, I did.
Wanted to fill people in on how that flight went to Australia and
no, I did not go to Australia. I would have liked to have gone to Australia. I'm sure Peggy and I would have enjoyed doing that. But no, I went as far as Hastings. We had a device, and we are a managed services company. And it's one of those things where we do whatever it takes to make sure that our customers are in business. And so we troubleshot on Tuesday. It was just a bad weekend for internet. Let's just put it that way. And the firewall died. So I got in my vehicle the next day, drove to Hastings, and had pre-programmed the piece of equipment up, swapped it out, tested it, and then I hung around for half an hour just in case, things are going to screw up within the first little bit. Or they're going to decide to tell them halfway to McCook. Yeah. But this was not the case, and solved the problem, made the client really happy. We're pretty excited because coming up July, August, September, we're going to be doing planned replacements because we do managed networking. And we don't like to wait until equipment gets old and frail. we like to replace these things with bigger, better, faster, stronger, more secure. And so every 3-4 years, we swap the equipment out. And so we'll be doing that for, what is it, 15 of them, I think, 15 devices that we'll be doing for several clients. So we'll go to Hastings again for that.
Yes.
But yeah, no, internet woes. Yeah. It was terrible. We had another client that, because we've had weather, their internet provider provides wireless internet. And I use that term loosely. And no, it's not you, Wally. You're doing great. But the radio outside took a hit from lightning, and it took out most of the equipment inside in the networking stack. So this particular ISP is not always very quick about getting places to solve stuff. So, it happened last week it was right after closing time on Friday, and it just got fixed this afternoon because we won't name them because we don't want to shame them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we really recommend Great Plains Internet for your internet as a good choice for if you're in McCook specifically. A lot more reliable, and they show up when you need them. And if you're on our managed services, I have a pal that's on my speed dial on my phone. So as opposed to having to go through the troubles of going through tech support through the call queue, I just pick up the phone and call my pal, and we get you taken care of right quick.
And this portion of the show has been brought to you by Great Plains Communication, high-speed internet.
Not sponsored, but we do appreciate everything that they do. They are very good at what they do. Nobody's perfect, and I know there's probably somebody out there that has a gripe, but over the years, they've kind of been fairly forward thinking, and now they're getting fiber just about everywhere here in McCook. And if you have an opportunity to get their fiber, it's pretty good. It's not perfect, but no internet provider, I don't care who you are, is. I mean, even the big wireless carriers, they have outages. Mm-hmm. We've had outages with some of the big three this year, several times in some cases. Because everything is all manned and supported by humans, and we all have fail points.
Yeah.
So,
well, if it's electricity too, if you lose power, you probably lost internet, and a lot of even the big companies that sell you the internet, if they lose power, they lose internet. So it's not just you guys; it's affecting a lot of people.
If you lose power, you don't have internet anyways. So, who cares?
Get a candle. Read a book.
Candle, that's right. Read a book.
I can't. It's dark.
So yeah, we have a cyber tip this week for home and devices. So pay attention because there's some sneaky stuff in here that you need to be aware of.
Today's cyber tip covers smart home devices, their benefits, and risks. Smart home devices are handy internet-connected gadgets that bring specialized technologies that can automate things like lights or underground sprinklers, provide surveillance such as doorbell cameras, and even send you notifications when your washer and dryer cycles are complete, just to name a few. Another popular item in the home is a smart speaker. These devices are often referred to as the Internet of Things. They have a wide range of purposes, but like anything, they can be misused. One example is what we call eavesdropping. In tech terms, eavesdropping means snooping on private conversations without permission. It's not just about listening in person, but it also involves digital methods like hacking or intercepting online messages. This can be a big privacy issue because it's like someone secretly reading your texts and emails. For that matter, if unsecured, they can be a hopping off point to hack into other connected devices in your home. Securing your smart home and IoT devices from eavesdropping is crucial for maintaining privacy. Here are some steps that you can take to reduce your exposure to hackers. First, change default passwords. Always change default passwords on your smart devices to unique and strong ones. Default passwords are often easily accessible, making your devices vulnerable. Anyone can Google default passwords for nearly any device and find it. Second, update regularly. Keep all your devices' firmware and software up to date. Manufacturers release updates to fix vulnerabilities, so regularly check for and install these updates. Third, use a secure Wi-Fi network. Set up a strong, unique password for your Wi-Fi network. This prevents unauthorized access to your smart devices. Fourth, create a guest network. If possible, create a separate guest network for your smart devices. This adds an extra layer of security, isolating your IoT devices from your main network. Fifth, review privacy settings. Check and adjust the privacy settings on your devices. Update of anything that you don't want to be public. And sixth, turn off unused features. Disable any features on devices that you don't use regularly. This reduces the potential entry points for attackers. By following these steps, you can significantly enhance the security of your smart home and IoT devices, reducing the risk of eavesdropping and unauthorized access.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for hanging out with us. I hope you got some really good information out of that because those little devices, they need a little bit of TLC as well. And if you have a good firewall, in fact, Unify, the company that makes the firewalls we were talking about, they do make various levels, some for home user and the like. And if you're interested in separating out like your doorbells and your IoT devices from your regular computer network to kind of add a little bit of security, it's not as expensive as you would think as a home user, and we can help you out. So just give us a call. We're happy to do that. Any way that we can be of help, we're going to be. But this is now that time of the week that we need to perpetuate the cat craze. So this was from one of my Facebook memories 3 years ago. That was you've all seen my pride and joy, Jamie. That's the one that it looks like he's yelling at me in the picture, and he was just a little poof ball 3 years ago. But he is now. I don't know what it is with yellow cats when they get neutered. They just like gain weight. He's got to be like 22 pounds now. And honestly, we don't overfeed them, but he's a big fella. Then in the back, that's Claire. So you do know that my wife watches Outlander, right? Jamie and Claire. I roll my eyes. I love my wife though. She called them Jamie and Claire, and they're both pretty cool cats. Little turd buckets. That's
turd
what they
buckets.
are. Yeah, there's 2 out of the 7 that we have. So, Keith, is it time to do the old party dance out of here? La!
It's time now.
Time to dance to get out of here.
As long as we get the music going.
Happy weekend. We can't hear it, but you can, but we'll dance anyways.
That's right.
And so what do you got going on this weekend, Keith?
We've been looking at a new car for my wife, so.
Oh yeah, you heading to the big state of Colorado?
I don't think so. I think we found something in Nebraska, but
all right.
it's a wait and see kind of thing. It's Friday, so I'm waiting, and I'll see you tomorrow probably.
Yeah, well, hopefully everything all turns out for you, because it has to be less than convenient.
Always.
And we got a short a weekend going on as well with Graceland doing a dance recital for 2 evenings.
Nice.
So yeah, we'll get to see her for a brief few moments, or a couple times this week. And Jennifer, what do you got?
I'm getting ready for vacation.
Vacation. Jennifer is going on vacation next week.
Yep.
She's going away. She's leaving us alone. And so we're going to have a train wreck
Oh yeah.
of a show next week because we'll be
Next
pushing
week
the
you can do it
buttons.
Thursday. And I'll still
Oh,
be here.
okay. We'll do a Thursday. We'll see you Thursday. Thanks for joining us. Happy to have you.